And if you're Complexity, we've been kind of hyping up the playoff run for them. This is a must-win match for them. Oh, they can't afford to drop any of these easy series.
Yeah, I think any basically stolen series that Tainted Minds is going to be able to get is really going to shape that top 4. But we will get right into things now, kicking it off with Swiftazor. And I'm just really excited to see, if Tainted Minds can just keep it rolling, keep that form we saw from Anaheim. Because I know part of me thinks I'd be a little bit surprised. Maybe it was just a Cinderella type run, but...
And look, this man on your screen right now, Damage, he had an absolutely insane Anaheim for this Tainted Minds lineup. He's been their lead performer throughout stage 2. Let's see if he can keep it rolling here. He's on your screen, bar in hand, trying to enter inside the hard point. And it's Tainted Minds off to a solid start here, but you got to start thinking about the upcoming hard point. In fact, you already have Swifty with a glide bomb, so for future hard points, it's something that can aid Tainted Minds in these rotations.
Certainly, he started out 5-0 with a fury, really hitting shots in the early going into the first hard point.
Oh, he's going to use it already.
He wants to invest it right away. Force them all inside, drops it through the window as well, and able to pick up the kill. We'll see if Complexity are able to hold on. 3 kills in a row for Sensor. 1 kill in a row for Sensor. Where did I get that? Okay. Well.
Anyways, that glide bomb winds up working out well because you had Damage pitch around the back. You still see Tainted Minds spawning on that right-hand side of the map, but Ricky's here to mow them down. He's able to find one. Gets the second as well. Nibble, you got to finish that kill, and Ricky knows there's more pressure incoming. Swifty does wind up finishing that kill, but the damage has been done. Complexity now have the information they need. They can play in the proper positions, put their attention over towards the back, but despite that, Tainted Minds find the kills. They enter inside the hard point, and this is a good 30 seconds for them.
Fantastic. We'll see if they can hold on to the remaining time. It looks like Complexity going to opt to rotate. At least one player kind of poking there from Dashy mid-street. Maybe thought he had a one-on-one where he could just clear them out for the final seconds. There's actually 2 players he had to take down. Wasn't able to do it. So we'll shift focus to the next rotation. A one-on-one going down. Swiftness are actually able to pick up both kills. Unfortunately, though, a close spawn's coming in for Complexity. He needs reinforcements quickly.
And the reinforcements is going to come by number 5, Swifty. Swiftness, or you have to stay alive for your buddy Swifty to come in, give you some covering fire. He's staying alive for the time being, but the nade's just going to zone him out. But more help here for Tainted Minds. Can they break on in? Can they fight through the Complexity setup? Not looking like it's going to happen. Complexity, they're going to maintain their position, and they're about to retake the lead.
Lead change now to Complexity. Set up nicely inside. Damage, though. The highlight man for this Tainted Minds team that you mentioned, still trying to do what he can. Looking over Nimble currently. One more tucked away in the corner. Can't take that gunfight, but the trade's still there. Nimble and Damage work together well on the hard point.
Yeah, challenges and falls after. And look, if every time you're matching up against Complexity, you have to find a way to shut down Dashy. The guy's been the lead performer throughout this entire stage for this Complexity lineup. I remember JP tweeting out a stat not too long ago that when Dashy is going negative, like the win rate for a Complexity plummets down to the ground. I want to say sub 20%.
Oh, well, I would think it's willing to argue that Dashy probably, if you're just talking like hard carry, statistically, might be one of the biggest when you talk about his Complexity. He has to, absolutely has to slay. And so far, when you just talk about the 3 game modes, he's been able to do it. Really makes it hard on the team, though, like you said, when he struggles.
Yeah, too bad he forgot his 3rd-tier score streak here. No fighter play for him. You figure if he goes on a sequence, which he does, just about every single series, if he winds up getting streaked out, unfortunately, he won't have that toy to play with. But for the most part, as we're here at the office hard point, it's a tied-up game, 75-75. And here's that sequence from Dashy. He's on a 4-3. Can he make it 5? No, he cannot. He gets shut down. But it's good to see him finding rhythm on this map. Meanwhile, on Tainted Minds, you have Swifty 14-5 on a 3 spree.
Yeah, Swifty started out hot at 5-0, and he's continued that pace. Still 25 seconds remaining, and the hardpoint sensor going to drop. The kill feed lights up green as Tainted Mind tries to clear, but the last person there, Dashy, yet again, gets both kills, secures the scrap time for his team, forces the rotation to smoke tax now for Tainted Minds.
And Tainted Minds are playing this well. I've liked how they've approached this map so far. They're on top of their rotations, they're playing together. The trades are there as well. Like I was saying coming into this match, the fundamentals are there for this Tainted Minds lineup, and they don't play scared. It's just sometimes they just can't slay with some of this top North American talent, and it's not tough just on them. It's a lot of teams struggle with that area.
Let's see if they can bring it back. We've already had several lead changes in this game thus far. Complexity now open up their biggest lead. They've got 3 players still on the hard point. Sensor has the opportunity to flank or make a play from mid-map if he opts to. He will get one, but ultimately ends up dropping. Still a presence in the hard point for Complexity. It's been a very solid hold here at Smokestacks. All you really have is the one glide bomb from Swifty early in this. They haven't been able to tack on any extra utility. So they're trying to fight through with their guns, but this line of Complexity keeps holding.
Yep, Complexity finding the kills inside the hard point, and now you're starting to get blasted off a little bit. And this is a guy who had a very slow start to stage 2. You pick him up to be that search and destroy specialist, and quite honestly, he just hasn't been performing that game up, but it's nice to see him getting involved here in hardpoint.
And he's had some, he can be so streaky though. Like I've cast like an Arden Forest with him running out the sub where, you know, he's going double positive, making plays on the map. We've seen it from him. It's just when will it become a more consistent effort for Blast?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there. I mean, sometimes it's just hard to be consistent. It's the nature of the role, right? Whenever you're playing that like high aggressive SMG role, you're just getting so many interactions that, you know, it's bound to find some inconsistent games here and there.
And I think it's part of being a young player too. We've seen some guys get more consistent just over the past month or two. Decimate's a name that comes to me. I know Envy struggled, but for him in particular, he's been looking lights out for me lately, whereas I used to view him as kind of a streakier player as well.
And I'm glad you bring up that point because him being so young, sometimes you don't recognize like certain situations where you can slow down and you can play a corner on the map to try to either wait for your teammates to come and help out. Sometimes you feel like you have to do everything and you're just sprinting nonstop, just trying to get as many engagements as possible. It's been Complexity slowly but steadily building this lead as they go up by around 60 points here with 20 seconds remaining at the ventilation room. Both teams are now going to start thinking ahead. The upcoming hardpoint over towards the operations bunker. You see Tainted Mine spawning up in the top right-hand corner of the map. They want to lock down Swans coming into this hardpoint, which could be a big one for them.
Unfortunately, they're running into Blast. He almost sticks one as well. Hits the edge, though, and able to pick up two. Sensor, next man up inside. He's up to the task. Able to win the gunfight. Now spawning out is Tainted Mine. Spawning out near Old, so they're going to have to rally towards operations bunker. And Tainted, I mean, they're not out of this yet. We've seen teams rally together. I think I've seen like a 4 rotation hold from a team like Red at one point. So you can pull off major comebacks, but second by second, it's definitely getting scarier.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you look at the majority of the hardpoints here. If you get like your ideal setup going, you can lock down, you know, the full time on most of them, but it's very tough to do, especially when you're slaying like Tainted Mines is right now. I mean, the only performer right now is Swifty. Remember early on in the game, he was like double positive. He started to slow down. You have Nimble. He's supposed to be your star SMG player. He's at -8. Then you have Damage, who's like the hard carry of this team. He only has 26 total engagements. You have to get somebody like that involved way more in the action. You want him to have as many engagements as possible because he's been your lead slayer. You figure if you get him more engagements, he's just finding more kills around the map, which ultimately helps out the team.
Let's see what Swiftazor can do here, but this was something that plagued them during the first couple weeks. Just not being able to slay with the top teams, and obviously I didn't get to watch every one of their matches at Anaheim, but when I looked at their game modes, they were right around kind of like 50-50 in all the game modes. Like, not spectacular, but didn't have a big weakness. And what plagued them again the first 2 weeks was a glaring weakness in hardpoint. If you can't take a single hardpoint, you are not going to win many series.
Completely agree with you there. As now Tainted Mines, they're finding their footing right back into this game. Now only down by 30 points, plus you have Swiftazor starting to heat up. He's on a 5-3, 75 points away from earning the glide bomb. Well, of course, as soon as we hype it up, he winds up falling. But now Damage, he's got the hot hand too. He's on a force free inside the hardpoint. Despite members falling on the outsides of the hardpoint, they stay alive inside. So they're still getting time, and they've brought it back to within 20 points.
That is exactly what I was saying. You can chain together hard points pretty easily on this particular map, get a little bit of a rhythm, and you can come back from just about any deficit, and they've done it here very, very quickly. Nimble still winning gunfights out front, snapping onto a second and Sensor as he's able to clean him up. And if we get the rest of the time here at Tainted Mines, as it looks like they will, it's another lead change. They were once down, what, 80 or so?
Yeah. They're down 80 going into, what was it, the operations bunker, and then they win the rotation across the map to the storage bunker. Now we find ourselves here back at the offense. It's Damage getting the job done. He's finding kills left, right, and center. Nimble falls shortly after that. But remember the stat that I brought up a little bit earlier. When Dashy's going negative, the win rate for Complexity severely plummets. He's only -2 right now, but you can see Tainted Mines have just retaken the lead. They're spawning further and further away from the hard point. Tainted Mines have a chance to build a lead right here.
Here we go. Let's see how far they can push that out. Complexity can at least take another crack at this, just trying to build from mid-street. The first pick does come in behind Sensor, and that's going to be the call to go. Pressure mounting towards Damage now. He's got him lined up. Needs one more bullet in. Can't finish kind of the back leg of the second player there. But does enough, I think, to hold off the way. There's really only one more player here.
Yeah, scary for a moment, but ultimately the trades are there. Tainted Mines hold on inside the hardpoint. Swiftazor is still racking up this time. Will re-challenge with the machine pistol. And once again, an opportunity for a member of Tainted Mines to get streaked out. And think about the upcoming hardpoint as we move over towards the smokestacks. Something like a glide bomb and artillery barrage could greatly aid in either breaking in or solidifying your setup in this open hardpoint. Still working on this spree is Swiftazor. 4 in a row right now. He's +5 overall. Spot's Ricky as he's just starting to be a thorn in the side of Complexity for now.
Hoping for these streaks. Is the trade there? There's still one tucked away in the corner. He's got Ricky to deal with. Ricky able to take his head off. I know the trade comes in for Tainted Mines, but you'd love to guess what?
Other way around.
Third or fourth player not almost got streaks?
Yeah, but it's the other way around. Like, you want the player who's not on streaks to initiate that engagement, to bait in. So that the player who's 1 kill away from streaks could at least get an assist off it and earn it. But now it's Complexity's chance to find their footing here as we're in the tail end of this first hardpoint map. They're currently trailing by 70 points, so if they get the remaining time here in smokestacks, we'll essentially be tied up once again.
Test comes in for a moment, but Complexity able to get the clear. We'll head back to ventilation room in the next couple of seconds. That's a gunfight that you're rarely ever going to win. That's a tough one mid-street.
Okay, Ricky, lead slayer right now for Complexity. He's going to come in from the storage bunker side. As you see, all of Tainted Minds trying to set up inside the ventilation room now. The interaction is about to begin. Initial ones won by Tainted Minds as they're building a little bit of a lead, 20 to win.
They can absolutely win it here. Ventilation room, we've seen some insane holds down the stretch. If you get the setup, you can absolutely lock this down for the full time. 2 are going to drop for Tainted Minds. They're trying to race back to get the reinforcements in. They only need 5 more points. They're going to do this. Complexity have got to get in. They've got to go now. Nice shot from Swift Azor at range, and there's the final second as Tainted Minds come back from down 80 and stun Complexity in game 1.
Yeah, it was a solid start for it. Tainted Minds overall, they get a glide bomb in the first hard point, and then they kind of lose their footing over towards the mid game, but they bring it back in big fashion as they close out game 1. They're on the ventilation room hardpoint, and once again, going back to what I was saying, when Dashy's going negative, when he's not slaying like he used to, it's so tough for Complexity to win these games. And also going back to what we said coming into this matchup, this is a trap game for Complexity. It's so important for them to keep their playoff hopes alive. They have to win this match right here. Losing the first map is not a good start.
Yeah, it almost feels like, I know there's 2 weeks left, and you don't want to say like do or die yet, but with where they're sitting and how strong the top teams are in this division, you have to win these series. You have to. If you come lose to Tainted Minds, I can almost guarantee Complexity aren't getting top.
I mean, look, you figure the gap from Rise Nation, Optic Gaming, even maybe Unilad, who's in 3rd place, you figure that gap between 3rd and 4th is only going to continue to grow. So the fact that if you are on the bubble and you're losing games, you're going down, the separation between the teams is going up, like it's tough. And once again, Complexity, this is an important match. Obviously, it's not like must-win just yet, but you can't afford to be losing series against these weaker teams.
God, I'd almost argue that it is. Like, I know it's crazy because it's the first match with the final 2 weeks left to go, but I feel like it kind of is must-win. Like, you have to come in and take series off the 0-17. You need to get it done. And so far, they get stunned in the game 1. We'll head to Search and Destroy next and see if they can answer back there. But any big takeaways maybe on the positive side for Tainted Minds that you saw in that game?
Tainted Minds, I mean, even though they weren't slaying, as well as Complexity were, especially early game, like, they stayed in it. Like I was saying, like, the fundamentals are there for these guys. The basic mechanics of Call of Duty are there. It's just times, it's tough for them to outslay opponents. And what they did there to kind of work on that is they played more for the trades, right? They were always playing together. It's kind of like a buddy system. Anytime you watch them move around the map, it was like 2 here, 2 there, and they were always just working together, ready to play off one another. Now, this upcoming map, USS Texas, this is a good search and destroy map for Complexity. You think about Dashy, what he could do with the sniper rifle. So Tainted Minds, you want to bring out a lot of smoke grenades coming to this next matchup. And once again, maybe Complexity overlooking or underestimating their opponents here.
Think how good this feels for Tainted Minds. You hadn't had a top 8 at a major open. You go get that top 8. You couldn't win a hard point like your first 2 weeks. You look so poor in the mode. It was basically a free win to any team. You come in, you win your first hard point. Like, I just feel like it's not their motivation, but their confidence is just growing bit by bit by bit as they kind of put one more notch in the belt.
Look, you can clearly see the improvement that these guys have been making day in and day out, and it all started at Anaheim. And I remember the first day these guys got in, and I was talking to them, they're like, look, we're coming into this division. We're just trying to get good practice for Anaheim, right? That's our big focus right now. We know that we're a weaker team when compared to some of these other teams in the division, so we're just going to approach it, try to get better day in and day out, and that's exactly what they've done. And now you're starting to see all that hard work, all that practice start to pay off, and they're taking maps off these top teams now.
We've heard it from our POV, obviously, with regards to Tainted Minds. It's been impressive what they're able to do, but Jess did have a chance to talk to Damage before this actual series began. Let's hear what he said.
As you can probably imagine, Tainted Minds are feeling very good. Damage says that's probably because of their run at Anaheim. He says he's going to try to see if they can continue that run. And I did also ask him if there was anything in particular they've been working on or kind of focusing on in the last few weeks or since Anaheim, really. He said there isn't really anything in particular. He says, we know what we have to do. It's just kind of a matter of seeing if we can do it. So let's see if they can do it. Rev and Maven, back over to you guys.
Thanks so much, Jess. Yeah, I think that's a question in a lot of people's minds, and it's gonna be fun to watch because one of my favorite things is, well, I have 2 things I really enjoy when it comes to the Pro League. It's one
tacos.
Well, okay, that'd be number 1. But the 2 things COD related would be watching kind of young and newer players come into their own throughout the Pro League when you get your first shot in. Like, it's really fun for me. Like, I know that with Decimate, that was one really cool thing.
Decimate, Pharaoh.
Watch him improve. Yeah, there's been a ton of young talent. And then also a team that's kind of getting the Pro League for the first time and watching that force them kind of figure stuff out against better competition. And you've watched Tainted Minds absolutely, there's no way to say they haven't improved. It's been great.
I agree with you there. And look, at the end of the day, it's a team game. Like, you can't win 1v4. You can't win just relying on one player. And I think these guys on Tainted Minds, they know what it takes, right? We've had players on this team. They've been in pro leagues before. They've been up and coming in the kind of like Australian, New Zealand scene for a while now, and it's great, like you were saying, just to see it finally all come together. Because I mean, you think about Damage, like way back in the day, this guy played for Trident T1 Daughters back at Ghost Champs. Before that, I think they got like top 6 there. So these guys have been playing for a long time. Now they have a chance to showcase their skills once again on the big stage.
Well, let's get right into the map too, and a search and destroy, something definitely worked out for the APAC teams. You talk about Anaheim, you saw Mindfreak 09 and 2. They had the highest win percentage in search and destroy that particular event. Tainted Minds didn't put up the same numbers, but they were finding victories in clutch situations. That's what allowed them to make that run. Let's see if they have what it takes against Complexity and, well, against this man. Many call him the best snipe in the game. He is not fun to deal with.
He's certainly the flashiest sniper that we have in the Pro League, without a doubt. I mean, the guy just walks around. He's like a walking montage reel. Every time he's got the sniper in his hands, he just quick snaps on the enemy players. Complexity on their first offensive round, though, trying to feel out Tainted Minds. Ultimately, it looks like it's going to be an A-bomb site attack from them.
Trying to bait out whatever nades they can before they opt to get this bomb down. Dashy is still looking for the angle, but hasn't been able to fight it. Smoke does come in. That's going to be the call for Blast to get across the bomb. Nades come in, but it doesn't look like they connect. Dashy finds one, almost 2 on the cross, but will feed him right to Blast as he's able to give him that information. Sensor does get dropped, though, inside top.
Around the flank, it's Nimble, playing around that control room area. We've seen a lot of Mountain being brought out by these Tainted Minds guys, and even though it's only round 1, it's something that, either a concussion or a lethal grenade thrown at your way is going to do some serious damage. Either way, Nimble now left in a 1v2, going up against Dashy and Ricky. Bomb now just being planted. Nimble, did he just find a window of opportunities? Come up behind these players. No, he was spotted, gets taken down. And it's Complexity open things up with their offensive round win.
Yeah, I think Blast made a lot of good plays there. He got 2 kills around bomb, just trying to get that planted. Pressure would come in. He'd have to deal. He tries to get it down a couple of times, but had to take the gunfights, and he was able to get 2 before he dropped.
Good job by Blast, just playing his life there. Thought for a moment Nimble found that window of opportunity where Ricky was looking over towards the B-bomb site. As soon as Nimble exits through the basement, fortunately, Ricky turned around in just the right time. But we'll see what Tainted Minds do here on their upcoming offensive round. If you haven't watched a lot of USS Texas Search and Destroy lately, a lot of times you'll see these offensive teams run like 2 smoke grenades, and then they'll try to bait out and count the lethal grenades and the tacticals that the other team throws at them. Just try to limit the utility.
Let's see how they try to build this up. Swifty will be counter-sniping on the Tainted Minds side. Dashy, obviously, still has it in hand.
Oh, he saw him.
He just got vision. You've got a couple snipers out right now for the Tainted Minds side. They're just trying to get position. Swift is going to use the bomb, get around the box, but stun comes in. He's hit. Blast just wants to go, wants to catch him, but he baits him right into the headshot from Swifty.
And that's not even Blast's fault, right? They connect on the concussion. They know that player's, stunned up near the bomb site. They have a general area of where he should be located, but the sniper just looking in the right place at the right time.
Good teamwork. Good teamwork.
2 quick kills come in favor of Tainted Minds. It's all up to Dashy and Ricky. Definitely not over yet here for Tainted Minds, but they're going to rotate over towards the B site, try to get this objective down. Let's see if Dashy can find an opening kill here.
Damage spotted him for just a moment and backed it down. Dashy able to hit the shot. Ricky getting pushed, though, in a tough position, not able to take it. All going to fall to Dashy. He's had some crazy clutches and some crazy snipes, but this looks to be too tall in order. He's trying to do whatever he can as they continue to push. The quickscope's not there. He might hit that shot.
You never know.
He's not getting sprayed from bottom as well.
Yeah, I thought he was going to hit that first shot before he got hit from the player below Nimble here. But just too many bodies for Dashy to handle. Had a nice shot there onto Damage, but once again, too many players to take care of. As there's opening kills for Tainted Minds over towards the A-bomb site that give them the man advantage. 2 quick kills early on. As they respond with an offensive round win of their own. So both teams open things up on offense. It's going to be Complexity's turn once again as we swap sides after every round. Nimble, though, with 5 kills on a 3 spree. He's leading the way early on for Tainted Minds.
Let's see if he can keep it going.
Oh.
He's basically got all the kills for his squad right now. I'll give you a hint. Swifty won't be adding anything to this round. He gets picked immediately by Dashy. Nimble may be looking for a timing on that B street to see if he can find an opening, but there's a massive presence here right now from Complexity. Just not sure what all the information was that he got.
Bomb gets planted, but there's the trade kill. Swift does find Ricky, and Dashy doesn't have a clear line of sight onto that bomb, but time is ticking away. Tainted Minds pushing on forward. Oh, the smoke. The smoke, he's going for the defuse after. He might get this. The quick scope connects on the damage, but he's defusing the bomb. He's defusing through the smoke. Another shot ranks 2, but he's not on the right player. They defuse the bomb through the smoke, and while Dashies pick up the kills, what the hell are his other teammates doing? How does nobody push forward and check the bomb through the smoke?
I'll be honest. It felt like we were watching a 1v4. I mean, it wasn't, but didn't it feel like it?
Yeah.
Like I kept waiting. I wasn't really looking at the minimap yet because I couldn't take my eyes off his sniper, but I was like, where the hell is everybody? Like, is somebody help him out here? Unfortunately, he quick scopes everybody but the guy on the actual bomb. I thought, what if he collided them the last one for that? I was about to lose my mind.
Oh, I would have went nuts, but like, how does nobody push through the smoke? Like, Dashi's definitely calling out, like, guys, I cannot see the bomb. There's a smoke there. Maybe they're thinking that with those sniper shots through the smoke that they got the bomb diffuser, but somebody has to go look.
I just feel like, yeah, that was just kind of too easy for Tainted Minds, right? Just get the smoke down.
All they did was hold square.
Yeah, that just was too easy. Can't happen.
Anyways, here we are, round number 4. Tainted Minds stole the last round away. Dasher with the sniper rifle looking for a pick here. Doesn't know that the bomb's being planted. Could shoot his backpack off. Trying to line up the shot, but Sensor's there. Bomb dropped. And now Dasher looking for yet another kill. First blood going in favor of Complexity, but there's the trades going down. And now we're in a 2v2. Swifty in damage up against Dashy and Ricky.
He just gets it down. He's likely going to drop as he was weakened. Swifty now has to clutch it a 1 versus 2. Dashy working towards these streaks as well. You got to think if he can get a kill and a defuse, this would be huge. Swifty peeking the edge, gave him away his position, and Dashy doesn't miss. And look at that, gets the glide bomb.
Yep, we'll get 150 points from this bomb defusal. I think once Swifty kind of jump snipes, like you were saying, gives away his position, Complexity know what's up from there. And Dashy hits the quick scope to close out the round.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's Dashy on the other end there who reacts rather quickly and hits the shot before he can dip back and try and take another angle.
Okay, so trading rounds back and forth are both these teams.
It's wild to think how much like harder quick scoping has gotten with like how things have changed, and still he's so nuts at it. Like makes it look so casual.
Comes with a lot of game time practice, and just like we were saying, glide bomb now available here for Dashy. Could use it to clear out a bomb site. Lots of different ways on the offensive plus defensive ends.
To be fair, I am pretty sure though. I'm trying to remember the matchup that it was, but I think I casted Texas. 18 kills from Dashy. They lost in around 11. It was something like that.
I remember that game.
Yeah.
And he's on pace to
It was Unilad. It was Unilad, I think, that went to round 11.
Yeah, it was against Unilad, because I remember Unilad saying, oh, wow, these guys didn't prep at all. That's the only search map we're good at. But anyways, bomb planted over towards the 8 bomb sites. Tainted Minds on the retake. The glide bomb was used by Dashy to open up this round. He's on a 6 kill streak, by the way, 8-1 with 3 first bloods. Sniper's going to miss there. And once again, nobody with a clear line of sight onto that bomb for the time being. Sensor finds another kill. Fortunately for Complexity, it's all up to Swifty here. He's just looking to shut down Dashy. Finds the free kill there onto Sensor. Trying to stretch the bomb defusal here, but he's got a lot of bodies in front of him. Easy kill for Complexity.
Yeah, he would have needed like all 3 of those to stack as he jumps across and have
that would have been sick. A triple.
Yeah, I'm getting a little...
Oh, and Dashy gets this final kill, so he's going to have the artillery barrage at least.
Oh, I thought he died. For some reason, I thought he died to a nade as he went flying across. Okay, so Dashy having another Dashy-like game on Texas, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe you want to veto this map against Complexity just so you don't have to play against Dashy and his sniper rifle. This is one of the better maps to employ snipers. But it's Complexity taking the lead, only by 1 round, 15 points away from earning the fighter pilot. Good to see that he recognized because he didn't have that tier 3 score streak on for map 1.
Are you a bit surprised that Tainted Minds play this? Like, they don't veto it, seeing that Complexity has had some solid maps?
Well, the thing is, Tainted Minds, they have a constant search veto. They always veto Force search and destroy it.
Gotcha.
And Complexity always veto Valkyrie search and destroy it. So either way, like, it's going to be Docks, St. Marie, or Texas.
Gotcha.
And Texas winds up slipping through. That's probably Complexity's pick.
Uh-oh, Swifty, he gets spotted, but he can't connect to anything other than the foot or through the wall, so it's just going to be a hit marker for now, but at least backing down one player of Tainted Minds. Is Tainted Minds still looking for an opening with this bomb?
Uh-oh. Have he jumped like a second sooner?
Yeah.
40 seconds remaining. Tainted Minds have to commit to a bomb site. They're going to call the artillery barrage over towards the 8 site, and Nibble's going to fall off the back of that. But fortunately for Tainted Minds, that wasn't the bomb carrier. And now their attention has to be turned over towards this B bomb site, trying to find the opening. Obviously, they want to take out Dashy and pick up that first kill. And Nibble's actually huge because he's the only one with like a significant amount of kills for Tainted Minds.
He's carrying the load for sure. Now, bomb coming down. There's the jump snipe. There's the fighter pilot. Blast able to pick the head off before the bomb actually gets planted. 10 seconds remaining, and that's done. He's so nerdy.
It's just filthy at this point. Disgusting. Like, you see these opportunities through the X-ray mode. Like, I know a lot of people out there might think that the players could see the X-ray mode, but they can't. Like, we're blessed over here in the spectator mode. Dashy has no idea that players are. He's just jumping, spots them, and then the shots just ringing true all game long. I mean, he's just a walking highlight reel at this point. Complexity, though, even though they have a fire pilot still left to use, they're up by 2 rounds. Tainted Minds are still well within this game. Let's see how they decide to play around this fire pilot.
I'm kind of hoping this starts to go the distance just because I want to see how many kills he's going to get at this point. So he's on an 8th streak at 10-1.
How many? Guess right now.
It just depends how long the game goes. Like, Complexity win these next 2, and it won't matter. All right, I'm going to get 15.
15 kills?
15 kills.
That's a safe amount, I guess. Complexity here in round 7. He's got the fighter pilot, but at this point in time, I assume everybody from Tainted Minds has Mountain on, so not a lot of information should be gained. Still, you could use it to clear out a bomb site. Smoke's not being thrown out, trying to waste utility from the other team. Nimble's been very active for Tainted Minds, and there's the fighter pilot. Off the back of that, they're going to try to get the bomb planted over towards A.
Bomb gets finished. Gets it down. First guy across. Another hit marker for Dashy. Oh, that was probably one I needed on my way to 15.
But here comes Nimble. Come around the flank. He might finally be able to shut down Dashy. You spotted him. He's going to climb the ladder. And this is a chance to swing the round in favor of Tainted Minds. Love how patient he's playing it as well. Finds the second kill into Ricky to follow up, but it's all down to Blastful. We've seen him in these situations before. Can the Clutch Master come out on top again?
He just has to get them off the bomb. Next one's on it, dives for it. Gets the angle behind him, not able to connect with the pistol. This is so winnable. This is so winnable. He just has to play time now.
He got
his life.
It's another 1v3 from Blastful. Nimble, the last one alive, right behind the bomb, picks up the kill, but too late on the defuse. He's got to get on out of there. And you thought the flank from Nimble was going to be the thing that wins the round for Tainted Minds, but no, Blastful remains alive, clutches the 1v3.
I thought Blast was going to lose that. Once the player hopped off bomb and actually got to the backside behind cover, I was like, oh, Blast is screwed. But he had pistol out against the PPSH. His hipfire connects, and he's able to take it. Wonderful, wonderful clutch there.
Oh, 100%. Like, 2 things that Tainted Minds could have done differently. 1, whoever's behind the bomb should have won that engagement. 2, Nimble, after he's on, like, that back deck, he should jump onto the side deck and start running on the high ground to help out his teammates. Blasto just dives out, picks up the initial kill on the bomb diffuser, somehow wins the second engagement. A nasty 1v3 from him, as now Complexity only need 1 more round to close out map 2 and tie the series up.
Looking like Tainted Minds are in trouble unless they can rally all 4 rounds in a row. Just working to get this bomb planted. Checking Dashy's POV of the B Street currently.
And you can see Tainted Minds just taking it slow and steady, trying to feel out their opponents. They know the situation they're in. They don't want to make any mistakes because they have none to give. It's been Nimble all game long. That's if the story gets spotted early on. Trade some shots there with Sensor, but no significant damage being done as they're looking to just get the bomb down dry. As it's Nimble coming around the flank once again.
Once again, just finding an opening, and there's an easy kill. This has to be so frustrating for Complexity. They only allow him to get 1 this time and at least clean it up, so it's got to be a 2v3 here for Tainted Minds if they're going to extend this map too. Oh, damn.
You don't want to fight that damage.
No, you don't.
They have a smoke, so they could do a smoke defuse just like Tainted Minds did, but it looks like they just want to fight right on through the bomb site. Damage trying to buy time. Needs being tossed out over towards the bomb, but he's the last one alive. It's a mantle from Dashy. What the hell was that?
Yet another snipe. He ends at 11-2. The defuse comes in. I think he had, what, 7 quick scopes? It was something ridiculous.
At least, well, he got 2 through the smoke on the Ninja Defuse. Gets 1 there, so that's 3. You figure he found a couple more throughout that map. It's Complexity surging forward there on the USS Texas Search and Destroy. Winds up being a comfortable map victory for them.
You thought it might be the one that went the distance as Tainted Minds found a couple of rounds, but Complexity eventually took over, able to dominate and answer back after a very, a 30-point loss or so they had in the game 1. So we've got ourselves a series. Now, I have the feeling this might be game 5 written all over it in my eyes.
I mean, potentially, with the way Tainted Minds have been playing and, Complexity in their current form, this could definitely go the distance. I mean, look at that map, too. Nimble, unfortunately, he's the only one that does anything throughout that search and destroy. He finishes, with, like, double-digit kills. His teammates, I'm pretty sure, combined for less kills than he had.
Yeah, it was not the best map for a lot of the players on the Tainted Minds side, but thankfully, you took the game 1 hardpoint, so you put yourself in a position to play an extended series here against Complexity. Quick break here before we hop into the map 3. but it is tied up at 1 apiece. Excited to see if Tainted Minds can take this or if Complexity can get a much needed win. It's going to be CTF coming up next, guys. Don't go anywhere. Tweet the stream. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Complexity vs. Tainted Minds, our first map to kick off the final 2 weeks of Division B. We're just trying to get our top 4, and we got a ways to go. But I would like to take a look, I believe, at one of the plays from the last map. There were some crazy moments that went down. Dashy had some unreal snipes, so really want to take a look at. It's going to be the scuff play of the game. This was actually from Blast in a 1 versus 3, and Revin, you can kind of break it down for the folks at home.
Yep, so as soon as we get that up, I'll break it down for you guys. But this has been a good match just to get back into the swing of things for these guys. You know, we already talked about it, like 6 of the 8 teams here, they had a really good Anaheim performance, and now we're just looking to see how they stack up continuing forward. So this is Nimble kicking things off on the flank. He takes down Dashy as well as Ricky, and it leaves Blastful in a 1v3 situation with 25 seconds remaining on the clock. He's currently located in his team's top control room, and this is where everything starts. He takes out damage behind the bomb, and you thought for a second Swifty was going to win this engagement, but he gives up the cover behind the bomb site. Blastful connects on the hip fire, and he knows that Nimble was on the long flank. He just killed 2 of his teammates, recognizing the time left on the clock. All he has to do is peek around this time, which he does, sees that Nimble's not defusing. Even though Blast doesn't pick up that final kill, he secures a round win for his team. Runs up being a crucial one at that, as it's a swing round. Brings complexity to 5 rather than Tainted Minds to 3.
And if if Swifty had, I believe he was sniping in that round. If he had a PPSH there, maybe he can take that one on.
Maybe just stays behind the bomb.
Yeah, that's
cover.
Pistol is pretty good. Maybe could have got it done. But we will head to CTF coming up next. Anyone that you favor in maybe this particular mode in this type of matchup?
I don't remember the stats off the top of my head, but I feel like both teams have a comparable CTF map record since the start of Stage 2. I don't favor one over the other. In fact, I remember going into it, like they all have pretty comparable map records. So yeah, and CTF, actually never mind. I favor Tainted Minds coming to this one. So Tainted Minds are 7-9 overall in CTF. Complexity are 3-10. And the map specifically is Arden Forest. Complexity are 1-3 since Stage 2 began on this map. Tainted Minds are 4-5. So more reps, more wins. I favor Tainted Minds in this upcoming map for sure.
Okay, well, let's see what they can get done on Arden Forest. Obviously, the swing game here, we'll see who can get the advantage 2-1 of the series. As we get deeper into this best of 5, we have a lot of matches to follow. I think the next one, well, what you said, 2 and 5 were your big ones? LG United, yep. And then what was it, Rise United?
Yep, that is correct. And here we go. We find ourselves on map 3. Series all tied up. Complexity versus Tainted Minds. I remember coming into the venue this afternoon at around 12 p.m. Only team here, ready, practice, ready to go. Tainted Minds.
Yep.
They're here. Maybe a little bit of jet lag to do with that, but they're here preparing, kind of like Red Reserve were at the start of Division.
Well, we walked in with them, right? We walked in with them,
yeah.
And I remember one of the guys said, I think we're the first one here. Sure as hell were.
Definitely.
Awesome to hear as they got scrimming and stuff ready for this match. Able to take the game 1, but now need to answer back to a game 2 loss. Nimble played really solid throughout that game, too. Just needed some help. We'll see who can go off here for Tainted Minds in the CTF.
Most likely it'll be Damage. He's been the hard carry for this lineup, really since the start of Division 2. Its early kills are going to go in favor of Tainted Minds. They're going to try to isolate Dashy behind the stump here. Grenade connects, but that's not a fight you could really take as an SMG. It's going to be up to Damage to try and find the angle. As he weakens up Dashy even further. At this point in time, he's probably regenerated his health, so all players up on the map as Tainted Minds still looking for that opening pick so they can surge on forward.
Damage can't win that gunfight. It's 2 in a row for Dashy, which will allow him to get kind of ice and cabin control for his team. As Blast wins another gunfight mid-map, that's going to enable them to start pushing up. Dashy already set up, catching multiple players with their pants down, not ready at all for his position. You got to think if he gets a kill in cave, we got to check our ice right off the rip.
Oh, 100%. And look, this all stems off the back that Dashy does a phenomenal job at staying alive behind that tree stump. And now this is an offensive opportunity for Complexity. And unfortunately, Sensor, for some reason, steals the flag grab for Dashy, who's 5-0. You figure he gets 100 points from touching the flag, plus potentially the flag cap after. But then on the overextension, it's going to be Nimble trying to force the stalemate situation. Nate's being tossed out by Complexity, trying to slow down the flag runner. And for the time being,
I think it was simply as giving it to the faster class, basically. Let him try to get back to safety maybe a little bit quicker. But we'll see if it ends up punishing him. Dashy doesn't get the streak, so because, like you said, he drops.
Died. Yeah, it was unfortunate. I feel like you should just give him the flag cap, get him started. I mean, he was on a 5 spree, so you figure some of those were on players that were crossing over their flag, so you get the score multiplier. I think he would have gotten it.
Sensor is the objective player on this team.
All right.
You know how much he loves the objective. He probably, give me the flag, Dashy.
Give me the flag. Let me sit in the hard point. You just walk around, pick up the kills. I'll live in your backpack for the time being, but it's Blastful on your screen now. Trying to get this return for Complexity around the corner. He's going to be met by Wild Swift Azor. Staying alive because you also have pressure on the top side of the map, right? Ricky working alongside Dashy trying to open up over towards cabin, so they're going to try to pincer in on this Complexity base. And oh no, Blastful finds the opening, dives on in, gets the return. This is going to be a first flag cap going to Complexity. And you know what would be great? If they gave that flag cap to Dashy, he'd be fully streaked out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Something tells me, though, if I known it was going to be a stalemate, I'd much rather Dashy on the map trying to find the kills to get the return, though, than maybe Sensor. Let him sit back with the flag. But, yeah, it obviously would be very nice to have those streaks to work with. So he 1-0'd to Complexity early. Sensor making the plays with both weapons right now as he found an STG, just trying to really get away from the shots coming in. Blast is able to look over him then as he just sprints into no man's weak and gets picked.
Yeah, can't really tunnel vision there because he had the most progression from his team. Just off the back of that flag cap, he got a kill after that as well and just sprints out, like you're saying, into no man's. Like, it's called no man's for a reason. You can't cross in the field like that without covering fire, without pressure. Anyways, the flag's being pulled and ran here by Swifty on the overextension. It's going to be Complexity trying to push on forward, but Swifters are there. He is here. He's got the cuts. Can't take out Dashy, though. At least tags him up. This could be a flag cap and should be a flag cap for Tainted Minds.
There it is. Good to get it through. Counter opportunity, maybe, if Ricky's able to make the play. Team kill comes in. One more player does pop, so Ricky's just going to kind of wisely wait here, be patient as his team's now coming in. They are going to spawn deep because of the presence there from Blast and Ice. Swifty's just trying to get these streaks, but unfortunately, you know, you're pinned back in the base, and nades are going to start flying in. He's going to fall. That's now 3 down. Damage last in the back. He's gone. That's a cap to Complexity.
Yep, Dash can run this forward, but no one watching the overextension.
I thought they'd get out before and spawn him in the back, but Blast
isn't even looking. Blast is not even fighting here. Somehow he wins that engagement against Swifty, but I don't think they know that Swiftazor has made it on through until just now. Ricky does get the information, but there are 3 bodies here for Complexity. This is going to be a flag cap. They're going to retake the lead.
There you go. Gets it on through. It may be a little scarier than it had to be. I think if he gets about 5 feet more forward, they're going to spawn deep, and then it's a guaranteed score, but they're still able to find the kills, and up 2-1 right now. Dashy, again, just trying to work towards streaks. He's 11-5, and Blast is right there with him.
Oh, yeah, Blast has been right there with him pretty much all series long. You think back to the Search and Destroy, even though we were highlighting Dashy a lot for good reason, he was making flashy plays. Blast only had finished with like 1 less kill than him, I believe. So Blast has certainly been stepping up in the series. I mean, look, they have an identical scoreline right now, combining for 23 and 13 deaths, 23 kills, 13 deaths. Not a bad stat line to have. As 30 seconds remain here in the first half. This could be a good moment for Tainted Minds. One defending player watching the cross in the back. It's going to be Dashy, though. Swifty trying to get the flag out, but with Dashy watching that sight line, good luck.
There are some ARs, maybe you hit that cross and he misses. Dashy, more than likely, not going to miss. Able to get both those kills there in a high-pressure situation. He gets out. Maybe we're looking at 2-2 half, but as it stands, Complexity should be holding the lead. Nobody from Tainted Minds in position to get a touch in the next 5 seconds.
Yeah, unfortunately for Complexity, I don't think Dashy does wind up earning any streaks. So two big opportunities throughout that first half for him to get fully streaked out. The first one, Sensor sold the flag grab away from him. The second one, he just dies just short inside bunker. But overall, it's a solid half from Complexity.
That's how you bury teams early, though, in CTF. You know, get those streaks
especially
early,
on Forest.
Get a score, play behind it. But they're also swapping sides.
Yeah.
Where they're going to now be pushing towards bunker. You got to think they'll be able to be even more aggressive. But I did like, speaking of aggression, like what Blast was able to do around the objective for Tainted Minds. Like he was finding holes through mid-map.
He got that clutch return for them.
Yeah.
That's just what happens.
You knew in the first like 10 seconds that he was going to play that way. He tried to just hit a mid-map and go straight for the flag in the opening moments. Remember you saw Nimble turn around, like shoot him in the back. So you knew he was going to be trying to find openings. But
every time I talk about like these S&D players that transition to a respawn, I always talk about how decisive they are with their decision making. It's like the first thought that pops in their head is usually the one they act upon, and it's something that separates them apart from some of the other players. Because especially like someone like me, like I think about all like the different scenarios, and sometimes like 20 seconds will pass and I haven't done anything on the map because I'm still thinking about what's going on. Players like Blast, it's just like go, go, go.
Well, sometimes it's like even if you make the wrong decision but don't hesitate at all, it works out, right? Like you find this hole, this opening that you didn't expect necessarily to be there. Stick comes in from Swifty as they've got Complexity pinned early in this second side. It is exactly what you want if you're Tainted Minds. You don't want that early aggression to go the way of Complexity. Now you look at 3 minutes off the clock and you haven't had any opportunities. They're poised to have opportunities early, but just haven't been able to kind of push through Ruins yet.
They've been able to establish map control, kills not being made over towards Ruins, and that might be the switch to send damage on forward through back ice. You see him starting to pitch in on the Complexity base. If he can find this kill on that remaining defender, or someone can, you can pull the flag and run right towards Ruins, but can they find the shake on the dash? Yes, they can. Now it's a foot race on the overextension. Swifty, no, you gotta keep watching that. Why would you backtrack over towards mid? The only thing you need to focus on is the overextension from the cabin spawn, and now Complexity, they're gonna get away with the flag, and at least for the time being, force a stalemate.
Wow, I thought for a second Dashy was going to kill all 3, and that would have been a very frustrating moment from Tainted Minds, but they're able to get it out. But remember, the more this stalemate goes, the better it is for Complexity as they have the one flag lead. They're just trying to burn as much time as you can. Ricky Doesn't matter. He ends up coming behind. There's the return. There's the third score. Complexity in control, and they still have a presence on the opposite side.
Yeah, they can maintain this pressure, but the spawn's coming in over towards back bell. They have to go because that extra angle to shoot at these players is going to be available. The dive comes in from Blast, eats a grenade as well, but doesn't have a lot of support from his teammates. Does spot this player over towards front bunker. And Swifty, where are you looking, buddy? The flag goes straight through bunker. Can't get the second kill, unfortunately, but the flag has been returned. Tainted Minds stabilized for the time being, and on the overextension, they're going to send Swift as on through, but Ricky's read it like a book.
Nice play from Ricky. Gets the return. They get the score. Also making plays back at home. Just making sure the comms are up and no one's sneaking through the cracks. Ricky now. Nice gunfight there. Nice grenade, really, to get Swifty out of that power position, then pick up the kill. 2.5 to go now in the second half. And this is where it starts to get scary for Tainted Minds. You know, the longer Complexity had this lead, then also the longer you're playing out of bunker and not able to have map position.
Exactly that. His damage on a 3 spree. I feel like at a certain point in time, Tainted Minds are going to have to swap over to those airborne classes. Probably airborne instincts, dodge the concussion grenades so that they don't slow you down. You got to pick up the pace and you got to start going. You have 2 minutes left on the clock. You figure 1 flag cap a minute if no serious mistakes are made. But you got to start going if you're Tainted Minds. Swifty here, trying to push down through the mid lane. Does find one, takes down Ricky, but not getting past Blastful. As now Nimble putting on pressure with their ruins, and it's like 1 by 1 they're applying pressure instead of applying it as a team and getting a good pinch going on the Complexity base.
Complexity doing a good job of just making sure nobody slips through. All the gaps and lanes have been filled. Blast working with Sensor here inside of ruins. Trying to work a little bit of a bait and switch as Sensor does get tagged up. I like this. Just wraps back to mid. Reads Swift Azor. No flank coming in. No play on the flag. Just heads up comms there for Complexity yet again.
Yeah, that's all they have to do for the next minute is just make sure nobody sneaks by, make sure you have information on all the lanes on the map, and just find the kills. Like, you figure with each kill Complexity gets, it's just going to further stagger the offensive push that's coming from Tainted Minds. Like, they've tried to spend time trying to set up this push, and at this point, you just got to go. You have no time left to play with it. You got to try to brute force your way into the Complexity base, but you're just not winning your engagements. You're not finding the opening kills to find a lane and push through it. Complexity find the kills, they establish map control once again, and now they just need to contain Tainted Minds in their base.
With this lead and this time left, it should be done, should be a victory to Complexity. They're still taking the gunfights at mid-map as well. Blast and Sensor yet again working well together nicely with those SMGs in hand. Seems like every time they need a trade to layer up the map, they've been able to do so. They're all spawning in the back. Sensor lining them up. There's a team kill that comes in, which maybe saved them from a 4th score going in.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, they're the ones applying pressure with the lead this late in the game.
Exactly. I mean, Tainted Minds, they're like at the furthest point back in their base. With 20 seconds remaining, this map is done and dusted, even though damage is 18 and 10. Once again, the general slang that Tainted Minds brings to the table just doesn't match that of Complexity. You have Sensor +5, you have Dashy +6, you have Blast +10. Ricky's only -5, but you think about the role he's playing, he's pretty much just sitting back, locking down a lane. Like, he's just posting up over towards the wood wall at cabin, or he's watching the overextension coming in through ruins. It's a comfortable map 3 victory here for Complexity. Makes it 2 in a row for them. That's how you follow up from an impressive Search and Destroy victory.
Complexity get the W. Revan, anything that really stood out success-wise?
From Complexity is really Dashy and Blastful. I mean, sure, Sensor and Blast kind of like the SMG duo, they play more to the same pace, but the fact that Dashy slaying and Blastful slaying off the back of that, like, I always like to talk about the relationship between the SMG player and the AR player. Like, when Dashy's finding those kills, it opens up the lane for Blastful to continuously apply pressure up on the map, and Tainted Minds definitely felt that.
And you saw Tainted Minds kind of go, well, close to 1-to-1, even have a little bit of a slaying advantage in that game 1. But I feel like, I don't know, its skill shines through even more for me sometimes in CTF because it is a lot of one-on-one fights. And when you see Dashy taking a lot of those fights and allowing Blast and company to get up in their face, it's tough to win games.
Look,
You're consistently losing those games.
The reason why I love CTF is every interaction is potentially like very meaningful on the map. Like, you never know what's going to happen in those 7.5 seconds that, you know, you're stuck in the kill cam and you're watching your teammate play. Like, you could lose all sorts of positioning. And for Tainted Minds, like, there are 2 big things, and they both came off the back of those stalemate situations. One, Blastful in the first half, he's able to sneak on through. That gave Complexity, I think it was their first or second flag cap. And then the second stalemate situation where the flag carrier gets caught out over near the middle of the map. Remember, I think it was Swifty, because it was Complexity overextending through cabin, right? They were trying to force a stalemate. And then Swifty's in Fire Alley. Like, he's in a great position to watch the overextension, but for some reason he cuts back mid. It's like that one interaction, that one decision for him to wrap back towards mid instead of continuing watching overextension potentially led to the game-winning flag cap for Complexity.
Can't have mental lapses like that, especially in a game mode like CTF. But let's take a refresher, kind of look at the best of 5 right now and where we currently stand. So game 1 to Tainted Minds, Complexity. Answer back twice in Search and Destroy in CTF. Now we'll head to St. Marie Hardpoint. This is where it gets tough because you got to think, like, if we talked about Tainted Minds and the fact they've struggled in Hardpoint. Getting one win is impressive. Getting 2, though, it seems tough to do.
Yeah, it would be great for them if they were able to win that CTF because then it buys them a little bit of breathing room later on in the series. And then even if they drop this upcoming Hardpoint, you'd still have the Game 5 to fall back on. But I will say St. Marie is a good map for Tainted Minds. You remember back when they faced off against Optic Gaming on this map?
20-point game or something.
Yeah, it was all the way till the very end. So they're familiar with how to play this map. It all comes down to their execution. And once again, they're slaying. If they could just slay 1-to-1 with Complexity, I think they'll come out on top.
Well, that's what stood out, if I remember the Optic series correctly. Like they're winning the rotation battles more often than not. They were getting set up. Optic would just come and like bull their way through them, like halfway through the hard point. They couldn't get those like full and consistent holds as sometimes you see maybe top teams do from North America or Europe. But they were playing correct for the most part, at least when I watched that particular map.
That's been the story with them throughout stage 2. Like they play correctly, like they have coordination, like you watch them in Search and Destroy on this map, for instance. Like they have the coordinated grenades to enter into the bomb site. It's just a matter of winning the gunfights after that. You know, sometimes, you know, obviously gun skill plays a big factor into things, but you also want to see that extra layer of depth, of coordination. Tainted Minds have that. They have the mechanics, they have the fundamentals. Just got to shoot back.
Well, let's see if they can do it here. They need to if they want to push this to a 5th and final map in this first series of the day. Talked a lot about Damage's playmaking ability. They're going to need it here. Nimble, though, trying to push through and maybe flank early in this game. Hits the shots on the first player in Sensor, but it'll still be Complexity inside, soaking up time in the hard point.
Yep, Damage, though, he's able to find 2 off the back of that. Now controlling the doorway. More shots being put in towards Sensor. Now, you want to see Damage actually be the player to go towards top red since he's the AR, but he's finding kills inside the hard point. He does get shut down. Now it's going to be Ricky around the back as the spawns have flipped that. And that's the danger of going for those flanks on the first hard point. Like you saw Nimble do it in the opening engagement. Just I get why he wants to do it because those players aren't expecting it. But when you find those kills and you don't have somebody anchoring over towards that second hard point, the spawns flip, and now it's Complexity in a better position for this upcoming hard point.
You refer to the bar as an AR. You see it. It is a multi-purpose weapon. It can be very, very good at close to long range. I think he got a 3-hit-fire kill while getting pushed and killed the entire squad. 6-2 start for Dashy as his bar is rocking Tainted Minds right now.
Yeah, plus they gave him the capture time as the hard point popped up, so he's dangerously close to earning some straights. Yeah, you see him 175 points away from at least getting the glide bomb. Now, fortunate for Tainted Minds, they're finding kills over towards the back anchor. As Sensor, yeah, that's a kill you got to finish.
Gee, I know you're snapping from one to the other, but you still get the first 5 bullets out, I think, before he turns. That's definitely a kill you need to get. But the good thing is you're seeing a lot of these gunfights happen outside the hardpoint. The Dashy hasn't had to deal with a lot. When he did, though, he was able to take that gunfight, at least get the glide bomb. You would love for him to maybe back up, play a little bit more safe, have somebody else kind of transition to the hardpoint so he can make sure to get fully streaked out. But
unfortunately, he got double naded.
Start. Yeah, you'll take that start. You'll take the streak.
Double naded, at least you get a glide bomb to work with. And now with 15 seconds remaining, Tainted Minds, this is what you love to see from them. They're going to give up. There's no reason to continue to fight inside the hard point. Damage even finds some kills and transitions, but that's going to push Complexity further and further back up off respawn. If they can just hold on to their initial position here, find like the first wave of kills, they should be set for this parking lot hard point.
This is something where Tainted Minds would struggle at times. Again, on this map, they get the early rotation, and then they get picked apart too quickly in the hard point. A kill for Dashy, followed up by the streak that comes in. It's able to find one more, but the spawn still comes in safe. That's the big thing. I guess it's Ricky that's not able to get too deep into the hard point. They're still able to spawn the back road.
Yeah, so the best thing to do when you're trying to influence the spawns in the back is whoever's pushing down through field has to wrap around through back stables. Like, he had the opportunity to do that, but I think it was Sensor who cut in, like, over towards the white Jeep. Instead of going around the back, means that nobody's influencing the spawn. There's no negative influencer, and Tainted Minds spawn up right there. They have the quick reinforcements. Now, Complexity, they do wind up breaking back on in. Yeah. They should get the remaining scrap time, but it's just something to think about. It's like the small things.
And this is one of those games that you talk about with Complexity. You need Dashy to go off, and when he does, you feel pretty good. They're up significantly. He's 14-6. Just look at his kills compared to the rest of the lobby. Like 4 for Sensor, 3 for Ricky. Dashy's he's putting on right now.
Yeah, it's weird to see like how little interactions like Sensor and Ricky get. Like even Sensor as an aggro SMG player, he's towards the bottom end of engagements like per 10 minutes when it comes down to hardpoint. So you want to try to find a way to get him a bit more.
Might be those times where you talk about him taking the wrong turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about like sometimes when I watch him play, like I feel like he tunnel visions on one specific thing. Like you remember that point in time in the CTF where he takes some fire middle map, and the one thing he's thinking about is I got to get out of harm's way. And what does he do? He runs down no man's like right towards cabin.
Yeah, good luck. Tainted Minds trying to break in. The lookout post so far so good for Complexity. Bars just trading back and forth in the kill feed, but it always seems that the last squad up is Complexity. So these final 20 seconds, it doesn't look like anyone's going to take a final crack at that, except maybe Swiftazor, who spawned out deep, but now he's going to head towards red. So Tainted Minds will be inside of red. It's once again going to be on Complexity to break in. This can be the story of the game. Like if you're there early, if you can get 30 to 40 points every time, you're all right. But when they break in almost immediately, that's when it gets scary.
Yeah, it's getting that first wave of kills for Tainted Minds. They've been on top of their rotations. They've had early positioning to work with. I mean, think about the position they were in going into that first parking lot hardpoint. Like they won the rotation. They had a good spread out on the map, and then all of a sudden things fall apart. I mean, granted, Dashy's just melting everything in sight right now at 20 and 9. It's just on an impressive spree. And plus you have Blast still playing off the back of that. Like these guys are playing well off of one another, and Tainted Minds can't deal with it.
Had a 4-player presence to kick off the restaurant hardpoint, but it wasn't long before Complexity broke through. Tainted Minds have gotten back in, trying to do what they can and hold the top spawns at the same time.
I mean, it's crazy to think that Ricky at this point in time has now 20 engagements. Dashy has 21 kills. He has more kills than Ricky has engagements in this map. And just like that, Ricky goes on one good sequence, one good spree, and now he has streaks to work with.
Lead the way for his squad, and the hardpoint really leads the way for all players in the hardpoint right now. He wants to bring the glide bomb right in. Now, can a presence get there? Is that number 3 going to be able to spawn anybody out? Dashy trying to get the angle, but both going to spawn deep yet again. To be fair, last time this happened, they broke right through after it, though.
And now look at the spawns as Complexity start getting kills going in their favor. Number 8 starts to spawn out. It's going to be up to Blastful here. Playing his life. Can he find any kills? No, he can't. So the pressure for the time being relieved, and Tainted Minds have some breathing room to work with.
Seems like that breathing room disappears pretty quickly. Ammo control on the backside for Complexity. Trying to funnel back in from the field will be Tainted Minds.
Now just trying to fight through the front. Kills going in favor of Complexity, and this is a tough situation for Tainted Minds to be in, but they have good coordinate grenades to enter into the hardpoint. They take down Ricky, damage here to follow up. Finds the trade on the Blast, but he doesn't have a lot of health to work with. There's only 10 seconds remaining on this hardpoint, and once again, we're in a situation where Tainted Minds are going to win the rotation towards the upcoming hardpoint. They have a good spread on the map. You're love to see them put somebody over towards the back just to solidify the spawns and make certain that you will have those spawns in your favor.
Yeah, that's
and just as I point that out, number 2 spawns out.
You have to have somebody deep, for God's sake. You know, that's just on Tainted Minds' positioning.
And
I love that you point that out.
Swifty spawns up in the back road, he has no idea Blast is here.
Oh, well, there's a gift that Blast decided to turn into throwing a grenade at himself, but still it hasn't been sniffed out. They've got no idea he's here. Now the swarm's going to start to come in, and this is going to be one you watch back of your Tainted Minds, and that's a lesson you learn, and you probably don't make that mistake again.
I think you put the blame onto Damage in that position. He's the player that spawns up. You look at the minimap, you're like, okay, I got a guy in the left lane, I got a guy in the mid lane, I got a guy on the right lane. What can I do to be useful? Back up, solidify the spawns for my team. They don't do that. Blast spawns out. Now, even though you still have Nimble inside the hardpoint, it's an 80-point lead here for Complexity. They're going to try to pitch into the hardpoint and fight for scrap.
The big thing is despite the mistake they were able to hold the time, right? They didn't get broken until really late in the hardpoint. Now they have an opportunity to win another rotation here if they get set up. But that's one of those moments that could punish you and lose you a game for sure.
Oh, yeah. Keep that in mind as we start to look ahead in this game. What was around an 80-plus point deficit for Tainted Minds. They brought it back to within 70, so still more than a full hard point away. But you have Swiftazor. He's on a 6 spree. If he can earn these streaks, that could be the start for Tainted Minds.
What'd they do in game 1? They brought it back when they were down around 80 points. So we know they have that ability. Obviously, it's a bit different of a map compared to something like a Valkyrie, but still the opportunity is here. Nice one-on-one win from Swifty. The flood coming through the 4 Complexity. The bars on the outside for Tainted Minds really need to find these kills. Nimble's going to push right in, secure the hard point yet again.
And that's perfectly done by Tainted Minds. I mean, you had Damage. Sure, he could have turned around and tried to help out inside the hardpoint, but he saw on the minimap that his 3 teammates spawned up over towards the top side. There's no reason for him to turn around and re-challenge inside the hardpoint when he could maintain that forward position over towards Stables. His teammates come to the back, clear out the hardpoint, winds up being a great hold at the lookout post for Tainted Minds, and now they're slowly but surely, like we were saying, bring it back in their favor.
Just chipping away. at this lead, despite the fact you're getting a monster performance from Dashy on the other end. He's at 34 and 19.
And yeah, the big difference for Complexity is Blastwell has really started to slow down. He was right behind Dashy in terms of kills. Now he's just about even.
We've seen those moments when we talked about it earlier in the series. He can be a little bit streaky at times. Who picks it up down the stretch, though? Again, hardpoint time. 2 Tainted Minds. They're bringing it back slowly but surely. At one point, it seemed like they were out of this game.
Now it's a 30-point game.
Now they're right back in it. It's so reminiscent of Game 1.
However, I don't think anybody from Tainted Minds was able to earn those streaks. That's certainly something that they would have loved going into.
I feel like
Winery, even parking lot.
How many times we've seen that in this particular series? And like, sometimes that's the thing that separates you great from good teams. Maybe is getting better at getting those streaks. Because I feel like we've seen very few streaks overall in this series compared to how many opportunities there were.
I mean, even on this map, we've only seen 2 glide bombs. And sure, like sometimes it's easier said than done. Like,
sure.
Like we'll see a player at like 500 streaks and we'll say, go play for your streaks, go earn them. But sometimes you slow down too drastically and you're not helping out your team on the map. Like, it goes back to what I was saying, you know, kind of when I was talking about Blastwell, how sometimes like he's just like a one-pace type of player, and sometimes it's hard to recognize situations where you can slow down and where you can play on the map. Same could be said about when you're about to earn those streaks. You have to understand the positions you can play on the map to increase your percentages at earning those streaks while still being useful to your team.
Well, Dashy has hit the 40 mark. 40 and 23, and we haven't really seen many streaks out of him. He's kind of like...
You add up any other player on his team plus Sensor, and he's got more kills than them.
Yep. He's going off right now, and they're looking to close out the game. Technically, they can still do it here on Winery Lot, but they need to be perfect. More than likely, we're going to see another rotation here. We'll see if Complexity can somehow get it done. They're still holding the front, doing a solid job. There's always one more man here for the trade. I think they get the final tick in this scenario and secure the victory.
No, they're 1 behind.
I think
1 point behind.
they are 1 behind. Yeah, you're right.
So we will see a future.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
7 to some 6,
Watch.
9.
You get that final, the ghost tick. The ghost tick. Does it come in?
No.
The ghost tick. No!
All right, just 1 more point. You figure Complexity have it in the bed. You just need 1.
I literally never know when that's going to happen or not. When that like final tick comes in, you think it's over.
Rise Nation didn't either.
Oh, God. All right. Well, Sensor trying to look to close this game out. Tainted Minds not out of it. You know, we talked about the streaks. No streaks really coming available for Complexity, so nothing to break in here. Just got to be on gun skill and nades. He's trying to wrap around the back. This should force the spawn out for anyone that's going to be dropping. Blast finds 2. Those might be the big entries. Last man's going to be Swiftazor. He's going to have to fight 2 more players.
That's it.
That should be the final second. And it's contested immediately, though. Nimble gets in and wins both. Somehow this is still going.
Hold on. Still doable here for Tainted Minds. They're finding the kills as well on the outskirts of the hardpoint. Now, this is the tough situation. You can't give up any scrap time to Complexity, and Complexity could, of course, send 1 player to find just 1 second. Tainted Minds, you got to go. It's just 1 second. You give up the remaining scrap time. If they can find a way to break on in, this is still a game. But it's just 1 second. Can they find the kill? Did they find the kill? 1 more player to follow up. Can they get it? Oh, so close.
Almost able to do it, but it's going to end in a Complexity 3-1 victory. It definitely got scary down the stretch in both of those hard points. That would have been nuts. I mean, we've seen that done maybe with streaks or something, but that bordered on impossible. But Tainted Minds, they make it interesting.
I will say, with Dashy dropping near 50 kills in that game, it was too close to comfort if you're a Complexity fan. You get the only 2 streaks in the game as well. I feel like it should have been a much bigger deficit that Tainted Minds should have faced, or more comfortably for Complexity, considering how much slaying that Dashy brought to the table by himself.
It's interesting, though, because he was pretty consistent throughout the course of the game. At one point, they're up 80. You know, it's working, right? Everything's working, and then it's the same with Game 1 and Game 4. At some point, it seems to slip away a little bit. I wonder if it's like they get too comfortable. They know they have a big lead. They might get a little bit lazy on their breaks, and then Tainted Minds comes screaming back.
Yep, so even though Tainted Minds wind up losing the series, I think we could still say that we're still seeing clear improvements in their game. I mean, you win the Game 1 hardpoint in close fashion. This second hardpoint as well was pretty close. Some mishaps in the search and destroy for sure, but you still had some moments where you felt like, you know, some rounds definitely could have gone in their favor. And then the CTF, I think, is where you could see the most improvement in their gameplay. They made some pretty bad mistakes in that map overall, but still a solid series from them.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some takeaways from Anaheim to here, and we're going to see them challenge a lot of these teams over the course of these final 2 weeks for Division B. But as it stands, it's another loss. 0-8 right now for Tainted Minds. Complexity secure a much needed victory in the scheme of things for top 4. But guys, it's a big one coming up next. It's Luminosity. Unilad. We'll be right back.
I'm telling you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty World League presented by the PlayStation 4. Benson joined by the wonderful Nameless and Chance to break down what we just saw on the main stage. Complexity, a 3-1 victory over Tainted Minds. I feel like this is a result, Nameless, many people expected, but, Tainted Minds, credit for them coming off a hot Anaheim, could potentially cause some upsets the next few weeks.
Yeah, I don't think there's any free wins in this division at all. I think Tainted Minds definitely showed up in that match right there. Complexity getting the better of them. But Complexity also a team who needs to improve as well. You know, you got everybody on that team under 1 KD outside of Dashy. Dashy puts on an incredible performance, pretty much wins them 2 of those maps, like, just single-handedly.
By himself.
Yeah, so, I mean, Tainted Minds, if they are not dealing with Dashy right there, maybe they're able to push that to a Game 5, possibly win that series. But both these teams have definitely improved.
Dashy at times a complete delight to watch. Chance, could he snipe in respawn as well?
Yeah, I think he could definitely snipe and respawn. Like, off the breaks, I think in a lot of hard points, I think there's a lot of good opportunity. Like, with how accurate he is, I legitimately think he should snipe more often. Like, at least on the, like, we've seen Clayster, for example, snipe on breakoffs at CTF and finds a little bit of success. I think Dashy would find more success, and I think he could do it on more maps. So, yeah, if I'm the coach of Complexity, I'm telling Dashy to snipe more. Can he use the assault rifle? Obviously, the SCG. He can drop 44 kills with it, so it doesn't make a huge deal. I just think he could get away with it.
Man, that search and destroy was something special.
Yeah,
like, on USS Texas, why are teams still playing him on that map? He's been going off just sniping everyone. Like, the best performances I've ever seen, hitting crazy shots through smoke. Like, unbelievable.
It was the last round where it was a 2v1, and he picks up that incredible shot where he remantles. I look at Chance and went, the crazy thing to me is his teammate didn't even die. He killed him that fast. Unbelievable stuff from him. But there, of course, I look at how the series went. It is worth mentioning, credit to Tainted Minds, Chance. They do come out and take map 1.
And that was their first hardpoint win in stage 2. Like, this is where I want to give credit to Tainted Minds for. So they go 0-11 in hardpoint for the first 2 weeks, and then somehow, I didn't get to watch nearly enough of it, they end up getting that top 8 finish. They were winning game modes consistently across the board, and granted, overall, the record kind of looked average, but that's because, you know, they make it to top 8. You're going to run into good teams. So, yes, absolutely. I think Tainted Minds, no, they're not going to be able to make playoffs. I think already it might just be close to impossible for them, but I do expect them to pull off some upsets against some of these top teams, and this is one of those matchups that I'm more scared of this team than I would be of Epsilon for their respective divisions. I think Tainted Minds can do a serious amount of damage in this division.
Well, Tainted Minds, I mean, they were pushing the pace to teams in the first 2 weeks of this division. They were bringing it to the end of the hard point, so I think it was just a matter of time for them to improve. I think that those 2 weeks got them a little bit better. Anaheim got them that confidence when they made that run up to top 8. I believe it was they 3-0'd Echo Fox and Envy, which are 2 teams that were solid all of Division A. So, I mean, Tainted Minds definitely have improved, and I expect them to play spoiler for a few teams here. They're gonna win. They're gonna win 1 or 2 matches. Like, it's going to happen at some point.
It definitely will. It's just who will it be against? That's what we're all kind of sat waiting to find out. But for Complexity on the flip side, of course, a 3-1 victory for them. It's important. They could, of course, can still make playoffs chance. But how do you see their chances?
I don't think it's so. Like, the performance they just had, they're winning a St. Marie hard point by what, 30, 40 points. It should have been a little bit more. But that's when Dashy is dropping 44, 45 kills, however many got up to.
Right.
When you're playing against these top teams, Blastful and Dashy aren't going to be able to go off like that. Like, when Dashy gets matched up against, like, a Slasher or any number of great ARs in the game, he's going to look human. Same thing with Blastful. He's very inconsistent, but against, like, a John, for example, he's going to look human. It makes it more difficult, which means the other two have to step it up and make up for the slack. And that's something that, like, Sensor, for example, just hasn't done, and I don't expect to do. Like, against the top teams, that's why I think Complexity is just going to fall short. Like, outside of someone putting up a 15-kill margin in S&D and winning the Game 2, Game 5, and stealing a respawn, they're not going to be able to consistently win hard points. They're just not good enough.
So for you, likelihood of playoffs?
Not going to make playoffs, no.
Nope.
I think it's the LG, E United, and LG kind of battle in that little mix. That's who I expect.
Well, I mean, something to note is their last, like, few matches in the Pro League have gone their way. Like, they were on that streak towards the end of their division, and then they win this match here. Sure. Obviously, this match wasn't the most impressive series, but Dashy did look absolutely lights out right there. So if Doug is able to step it up and Ricky can step it up, I think this team can make a run. Whether they make playoffs, I think that's dependent on the performance of the other teams. I think they'll continue to go back and forth. So I'm unsure on this team how far they'll go, but they have the potential for sure.
Well, we'll wait and see. Of course, first game in the books here for Division B. Congrats to Complexity coming out with the victory. Up next on main stage, though, it's probably the most highly anticipated game of the day.
Absolutely.
LG versus Unilad following that Tainted Minds in action against Rise Nation. Optic Gaming versus Mindfreak at 6:30. And to close things out, E United versus Rise Nation. Another fantastic game scheduled for 8 p.m. But we'll move the conversation now over to LG Unilad. As I said, probably the most highly anticipated game, Nameless. And